Hey Dan. Hi Nikki. It's Thursday, April 5th, and where else am I but at the lake. Dan, partly prompted by your video from last night, or from yesterday, I guess, on your way to work. It was the 4th, right? I felt like I should at least give you an update on the weather. So, you can see the hills or the bluffs. Cherry trees are in bloom. The trees are blooming really early, and so it continues to be warm. Oh, hey Mary, intrepid swimmer. I'm making a video for a friend of mine. So somebody suggested that we come out and swim tonight, so here I am. But it's I don't know what, 58, 55, 58 degrees.
I can check my phone.
It's marginally, it's warm. It's not as
52.
52. It's not as warm as it has been. I mean, it was probably in the high 50s at the zenith of the sun, but it's cooling off. It's a little windy, but not bad. So let's go see what the temperature of the water is. But the weather's been pretty nice. It's been actually pretty average. Okay, it's cold. Let's see. We came out and swam Tuesday night as well, and the water was 58 right here. So it's actually got up almost 2 full degrees. 59.8, we'll call it. So, I mean, relatively speaking, it's not so bad. I've got my wetsuit on, so I will be wearing my sleeveless wetsuit today. So yeah, the weather's just been, it's been pretty nice here this week. It's again, it's just been your average April, average late March, early April. So the temps have been in the high 50s and low 60s. A couple nights ago, we had frost on the windshield when we got up in the morning, and we have a frost warning tonight as well. But again, it's going to be in the 50s, high 50s tomorrow again. So it's not bad. It's not bad once you get swimming. So, Dan, one of the questions that you asked in one of your last videos is what would we like to do more of? And I think the problem with I don't think you should have to give the fact that it's a cliche a disclaimer, because if we can't employ cliche, or if we can't at least talk about things that strike us as cliches, then what the hell do we have to talk about? Because there's been a lot of people who lived before us. That in itself is a cliche, right? And if we can't talk cliches, I'm not sure where that leaves us. So I think what we should be more concerned with is sort of honest introspection. In college, we were reading the Iliad. And there's a particular scene where Achilles is dragging, who is it? King Priam's son around the battlefield, and the king ends up coming to Achilles and says, and kind of begging for his body back, and they had this emotional crying moment, and I had written this paper about that, and the professor says, oh yeah, that's really interesting, so and so and so and so, these famous critics, talked about these things in depth, and that, at first I felt a little like somehow I had stolen it, or somehow it wasn't as valid because somebody else had already come up with it. But then I thought, screw that. I really thought about this, and I came up with this idea, and it doesn't matter if somebody else came up with it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like saying if I were to derive the quadratic equation on my own, somehow that wouldn't be worth something, even though somebody came up with it a long time ago. I don't care. So I've been thinking a lot about that. Whether it's going to be swimming, whether it's something noble, whether it's spending more time with my kids, all those things. And what I started thinking about was about all the people who, when they spend, the people in the world who spend their time doing very different things from each other, and trying to distill that down to what's worthy. If somebody is working hard in an industry and is a captain of industry and makes $1 million, and somebody is building widgets for that industry, or you've got somebody who just tends to a bonsai tree for 30 years, or somebody who so I'm not sure there's an actual thing that is going to give us worth. But it's interesting because one of the things that I think like is the opportunity to face fear and to make I think it has to be physical fear, and make a courageous decision to stand up. That's what I think I want more of. So anyway, I'm going to cut this video off at this point because we've got other people showing up, and I'm going to go greet them, and I will remain in Winona, still dead.